That's what's happening. And for now, for us to take over, we have to re-strategize. So it can't just come automatic. But I know that the paraprofessionals are gradually being registered under the Veterinary Council right now. And there is a bill that is coming up. There is a bill that is coming up. And that bill is both veterinary and paraprofessional bill. That's the name of the bill. It's coming up. So that will be taken care of. It may not be immediate, but certainly over the time, we've seen our mistakes over the years because we thought we had it all. And once we thought we had it all, we were working on some false premise. And these people were gathering gradually. And their number is, I don't know, almost 5-10 times our number. So therein lies the problem. Okay? So the bill is coming up. And the bill we borrowed from, that's the same bill with the Kenyan bill. I think that's the Kenyan bill. The veterinary and paraprofessional bill. That bill, we've worked on it. Currently, we are done with it, and we hope the Minister of State will take it on so it moves on to the next stage. And now that takes me to the next thing. I hope veterinarians will contribute. Because, yes, we say it's going to be a ministerial bill, but yes, the National Assembly, with due respect, not to be quoted, but you know that you have to do, I don't know what you say, do something. That's all I would say. You have to do something. I leave it as do something before I'm caught.
I think it's actually to do the needful. Yeah, I think I can put a figure on that for the VPP registration at the council. As at last week, we have 3,000 VPPs registered with us. Thank you. We have just one slot more. I don't know if Prof wants to say anything, sir. Okay, Bala wants to take a slot then. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
But if Professor Tomori has anything to tell us, we will take it. No, we can take it last. Bala, we can take Prof last.
Okay, mine is even to make good afternoon and thank you so very much for the contributions and the exciting discussion. But mine is a request to our leaders, request to the NGOs, because much is being said about the potentials of the private sector. We all graduated some 10, 20, 30 years ago looking for those jobs. When they said looking for job, meaning they are looking for government jobs. And some of us have even started growing, gray hair, and we still haven't found that job. And I think it is important now that at this juncture, we look out for a kind of leadership that will galvanize this effort of the private sector in terms of making valuable contribution to national veterinary service. And this appeal should be directed to the government, both at federal and subnational, but also to the NGOs, the development partners, in seeing how they can fly a kite by way of sponsoring activities such as disease surveillance, such as vaccination, and then you look out for those who have those unique advantage, like what we have from AmbuVet in taking the service, good quality service to the last miles. So that is what I actually wanted to say, and I guess we will have in the coming days, months, and years, we will have the FAO, the ECOWAS, the WHO, and some other people getting to galvanize this effort of the private sector in the veterinary profession. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Prof.
Chairman, I don't really have anything to say. Just to say that I had the best training in my life in the veterinary school. Not only that, it prepared me for the future. Many of you know I didn't practice veterinary medicine for one day. I finished the veterinary school and went to the medical school to work, But while I was there, the training I had as a veterinarian stood me in good stead. And I could stand my own anywhere, any place in the world because of the training I had. And that's why when my sister was talking about training, I thought that was the crux of a matter. But then the training didn't stop. I'm still learning. And some of you are looking at me. I spend a lot of my time finding out about all the things, the area I'm interested in. I'm not a jack of all trades, but I have my specific areas. But every day I try to find out everything that is going on. So I'm telling you young people, the training didn't stop in the university. The training continues outside. And the day I will stop training myself, that will be the day I die. But if anybody tells a lie about me when I'm dead, I will get up and say, you are lying.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, we will bring this to a close. Maybe we'll have one more minute to round up. I'll go to Prof first. Oh, no, I'll go to Shamsuddin. You take your floor. 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, so my closing call is to first of all just summarize all of what we have discussed. Take-home message is we have to reimagine what veterinary service is beyond, vaccination, beyond treatment, and see what are the innovative ways that the private sector can expand their impact and influence in hard health, in project management, in policy, that we really need to be there and not just as people who are called upon only when animals are sick. So, and we need to build our capacities to be able to be seen as such. And then we need more collaboration between public and private sector, and within, even public and private sector, paravet, community and market workers, and VPPs. And just like Dr. Bala said, we're also calling on development partners and other supporters to see how they can support private sector, because they contribute significantly to national, disease control and public health. Thank you.
Thank you. I would say, just as Prof. Tomori said, we have been training and we are well trained. The aspect of entrepreneurship, I've told you that it's been introduced. But I want to tell you one thing, that the training of a Nigerian graduate compares favorably anywhere in the world. Recently, there was an outbreak of African horse sickness. I don't know if I'm opening it up here, but there was one such thing. And a Nigerian went to the farm and said, this is certainly African horse sickness. The guy in charge of the owner of the horse did not believe him. He brought someone from the UK, from Weybridge. He brought a vet from Weybridge. And that one said a different thing because he had never seen that. So they now sent the samples. Unfortunately, he took the samples. That's the guy from Weybridge, sent it to South Africa. Meanwhile, this other guy sent it to VOM. And VOM worked on it immediately and came back with it and said, this is African. Then South Africa now confirmed and then put it. Now, would you say that we have not trained our staff, veterinarians well? When the expatriate couldn't even tell, because that was the first time he's seen it. He had never even known that something like that happens. We are well trained, sir. The aspect of business is where we were lacking, and we are introducing that aspect to our graduates. We are well trained, and I dare say that Nigerian veterinarians are doing the best in the circumstance. We didn't talk much about NVRI VOM, why they had not gone beyond the 19 vaccines from the number of years, because there's no funding. So the thing goes back to government, not the training, but it goes back to government. You need funding, and the place is not funded. The place is dying. You can't continue using those grandma's ways of doing things in today's world. That does not mean that the vet is not trained, but that the vet is not provided with the facilities to go beyond that. So I would say our training is very adequate. There may be a few schools here and there that are lacking in certain things. And you heard the president of Vet Council talked about the Benin graduates or Benin school. And they're doing something on it. Some people say, why should she do this? But others say, well, standards are standards, and we have to maintain standards. So there's something that is going on. It may not be obvious to you, but definitely the Nigerian trained veterinarians are doing well, and the Nigerian veterinary sector, in the circumstance it finds itself, is not doing too badly, but needs to improve.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Can we put our hands together for our panelists? Can we put our hands together for the panelists? I will close this session by saying that this is a conversation that is ongoing and that will be ongoing. I thank NVMA for this opportunity. Now that we have the Ministry of Livestock Development, we must, beyond congresses alone, have ways of meeting to discuss like this. Because we need to be aggregating our views. We must position ourselves, learn and relearn. We can't use the solution of yesterday to solve the problem of today. So we need to be grinding ourselves to be able to have positions that we must take as a profession to meet with the challenges that are bedeviling us today. Thank you. I'm grateful to have this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We are most grateful. And on behalf of LOC, thank you very much. Ambovet, thank you. No, we had, Mommy is at home. She's part of LOC. Thank you very much. Mommy, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, I'd like to call on Professor Adewale Adeyeye to come up stage, to come and tell us how we're going to go about the scientific session, because the next thing now is the scientific session. Professor Adewale Adeyeye, please. While he's coming, let me just make some few announcements. We're going to start the scientific session now for today. Then tomorrow on the program, it's stated 8:30 a.m. But we're going to start earlier than that. We're going to start the scientific session for tomorrow by 7:30 a.m. And the local organizing committee members and the National Executive Committee members are going to have a meeting this evening in this hall by 8 p.m. LOC and NEC members, please be informed that you are having a meeting at this venue by 8 p.m. Please, Professor Adewale Adeyeye. He's supposed to come and give us announcements about the scientific session. Okay, it's coming on.
Thank you so much. It's been a very long day. So very quickly, we'll go into the scientific session. We have divided the session into 6 thematic areas. 3 thematic areas will be meeting in this hall, while the remaining 3 thematic areas will be meeting at different venues within the premises of CRISPR.